In my opinion, there is no better vacation destination than the city I was born and raised in, San Diego, California. There is so much to do in and around this city, from the beach to the mountains to the desert to theme parks. There is always something to do in San Diego. Are the places I'm going to show you today touristy? You bet they are, but I never get tired of visiting these locations. Let's take a look at these must-visit stops in San Diego, starting with Balboa Park and starting with free. Balboa Park covers 1,200 acres. It's one of the largest urban cultural parks in the United States. So basically, you can spend several hours just walking around the park and taking in the beautiful scenery. An icon of that scenery lies behind the Natural History Museum, a 110-year-old fig tree. This one brings back a lot of memories and feels for me. My 12th birthday was spent at the Reuben H. Fleet Science Center and Omnimax Theater, and then we picnicked under this tree. Of course, back then, we could climb all over this tree. Although it's sad that you can't do that anymore, I can see protecting a 110-year-old tree. Even looking at this tree while editing this video brings back a lot of great memories. The Starlight Bowl is a little bit of a sad one for me. I saw concerts and musicals here when I was a kid, and it was in use by the San Diego Civic Light Opera until 2011. Now it's fallen into disrepair and a little overgrown. One of the best things about seeing a musical here, that since it's directly in the flight path, when a plane would fly over, everyone would freeze. And then when the plane passed, they continued. And it's gone. I would love to have this experience again and have my kids see it too. If you're looking for something a little more classy, there are 17 museums in Balboa Park. If you're traveling with kids, my favorite museums when I was young, and probably still, are the Model Train Museum, the Science Center with the Omnimax Theater, and the Natural History Museum. For $67 per adult and $43 per kid, you can get a pass that gets you into 16 of those museums. And that pass is good for 7 days, so you don't have to try to fit all of the museums in one day. One of the locations that pass gets you into is the Japanese Friendship Garden. This garden/museum originally opened in 1991 and has had 3 phases. The last phase opened in 2015 and has a grove of 200 cherry trees. There's an exhibit hall, an activity center, koi ponds, bonsai trees. It's just a beautifully manicured garden. It took us a little over an hour to explore the whole thing. One last thing about Balboa Park, if you find yourself parking down by the Aerospace Museum, because that's where the majority of the parking is, there is a free shuttle that will take you from there to the area where the majority of the museums are. Adjacent to Balboa Park is San Diego's best-known destination, the world-famous San Diego Zoo. But before I tell you about it, please like this video, like me, subscribe. The San Diego Zoo lives up to its famous status. And if you're in San Diego in the summer, I highly recommend the zoo at night. While the daytime is great for families, the nighttime at the zoo is a great date night. The zoo does have a 35-minute bus ride around the park so that you can see all the animals. Of course, you can walk around the zoo as well, but it's important to note this is a very hilly park. There are some options to skip some hills, like taking an inclinator up them, or if you find yourself on the far side of the park and you just can't bear to walk another step, you can always take the Sky Safari back to the front of the park. The 3 high points for me every time I visit are the elephants, because that's my favorite animal, the reptile house because you can't miss the king cobras and the anacondas, and of course, the petting zoo. After looking at animals all day that they won't let you snuggle, or that will tear you apart if you try to snuggle them, it's great to spend some time in the petting zoo. And while you're at the children's zoo, make sure to stop off and see the Galapagos tortoises, some of which are original residents to the San Diego Zoo and are over 100 years old. Then if you still haven't seen enough animals, you can head to our next destination. That is SeaWorld San Diego. 30 years ago, if you had visited this park, you would have seen a young, handsome bass trombone player named Daniel. Yep, that's me, the tall, skinny guy on the left. If you're wondering what compels one to start a YouTube channel, it's something like this. This is where I discovered I love an audience. That was followed a few short years later by this. And then back to SeaWorld for this. And now you're beginning to see the picture unfold. SeaWorld is a lot different now. When I worked there, we saw SeaWorld's first real ride, Mission Bermuda Triangle. I've met 3 cast members of Gilligan's Island because of that ride. Now there are 5 roller coasters, a raft ride, and several flat rides. Add to that a dolphin show and a sea lion and otter show, and you've got a lot to see here. More than the rides, the draw for me will always be the sea life. And that experience starts the second you walk into the park. This is the same spot where I was playing trombone earlier. At first, I just dipped the one finger in the water to be nibbled by fish. Then I committed to the whole experience. Really glad these aren't piranhas. In addition to the amazing aquariums they have at SeaWorld, they offer many up-close and personal animal experiences. We chose 2 this visit. The first is my second favorite animal, dolphins. This experience allows you to get in the water with the dolphins, give them some commands and get them to do some tricks for you, and then at the end, you get to give them either a hug or a kiss. I don't kiss on the first date. I was a little disappointed that I didn't get to be pulled around the pool by the dolphin. The other encounter we did was the up-close encounter with a sloth. This was amazing. What an adorable and odd animal. You get to pet and feed the sloth, and I think this one was interested in starting its own YouTube channel as it tried to steal my camera. If you're interested in encounters like this, you can find these on the webpage as well. The sloth encounter is $90 per person, while the in-water dolphin experience is $180 per person. The next bit of entertainment in San Diego takes us close to the beach to Belmont Park, featuring the Giant Dipper, a 99-year-old wooden roller coaster. It has been refurbished a few times. And no, I did not go on it this time. That's a rough roller coaster. Since most wooden roller coasters are a little rough, just imagine how rough a 99-year-old wooden roller coaster is. And then increase that. There's tons of other thrill rides in this area as well, plus food and shopping, a ropes course, and even an escape game. Oh yeah, and the ocean's just on the other side. Just remember, the West Coast water is very cold. When I was a kid, we would go to Mission Beach, and then when we got tired of playing in the waves, we'd head over to the Big Dipper. This other stuff wasn't here when I was a kid. But it is now for you to enjoy. Last but not least, if you want to spend some time outdoors hiking the trails and never leave the city of San Diego, you can hike up Cowles Mountain. Yes, it is Cowles Mountain. I called it Cowles Mountain most of my life. I was wrong. The Cowles Mountain Trail is a moderate 3-mile out and back hike. The out mile and a half climbs 912 feet in that distance. Coincidentally, the down is a mile and a half with a 912-foot decline. But when you get to the top, the view is worth it. So this is where I'm going to leave you. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel. Starting soon is the Year of Disney. Thanks for watching.